What's going on, guys? We are here for another pyramid workout. Today we are going to get started with our warm-up. A little bit different. We're going to do a little bit of a bracket here. So we have 15 jumping jacks to start. So 15 regular jumping jacks or stepping out one at a time. After those 15, we have 10 reverse lunges with overhead reach. Opposite arm, opposite leg. So right foot back, right foot forward, left hand up. After 10 of each side, then we have 10 air squats, and finally 5 inchworms. Hinging at the waist, going down, and coming back up. Ready, set, and go. So you got 15 jumping jacks to start. After those 15 jumping jacks, we have 10 reverse lunges with an overhead reach, 10 each leg. Make sure those front knees aren't buckling in when we're going back. Really try to reach over, feel that stretch, getting those legs warmed up, getting our core ready to be mobilized and utilized. After 10 of each side on those, we have our 10 air squats. Feet about shoulder width apart, chin tucked. We're going down 10 times. And after those, we have our 5 inchworms. So doing it at your own pace here. I'll give you guys about another minute and a half. So take your time, we're getting warmed up here. We got 30 more seconds here. 30 more seconds. So 15 jumping jacks, 10 each side for the reverse lunge and overhead reach, 10 air squats, and then 5 inchworms to finish off. We're getting ready for today's pyramid day. Good. If you're finishing up early, grab some water. If at any point you need to pause the video to grab water, catch a breath, do so. I will be here. Let's go for another 5, 3, 2, 1, and time. Grab some water if you have not already. We're going to jump into this pyramid day with our little ramp up. First section, we got 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off for 3 rounds. We have our leg matrix. So first we're starting off with squats. So if you want to make this more challenging, you can grab some dumbbells and hold them in the front rack. Otherwise, just join me for some squats. Remember, 30 seconds there. After that, we have our lunges. So we're stepping back, doing reverse lunges first. The next round through, we'll do forward lunges. After those, we have our squat jumps. So loading up and jumping up, or loading up and coming onto those toes, exploding through the calves. And lastly, we have our lunge jumps. So here we're starting in that reverse lunge, going down, jumping, switching legs, landing softly. If that's too intense on the knees, that jumping part, we're going to reverse lunge, drive that knee up. Reverse lunge, explode up. All right, we got 30 seconds on, starting with those squats. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Good, so we got 30 seconds here. We got 3 rounds of each exercise, so keep yourself paced correctly. Don't burn out in this first section here. Keep that chin tucked, shoulder blades back. You want to make sure your feet are about shoulder width apart. 10 seconds. Good. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. Now we got the lunges coming up. So let's go reverse lunge first. So stepping back, stepping back. If you want to make it more challenging, have some dumbbells close to you in that goblet squat, or goblet hold. 3, 2, 1, begin. So next round through, we'll go forward lunge. Unless you have knee problems, if something's hurting your knees, then stick to that reverse lunge. come a little bit less deep, a little bit more shallow. Your back knee should be about an inch above the ground, not actually hitting the ground for any of this. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. Get back into that squat position. We have squat jumps. Either jumping up or jumping onto those toes, just exploding through, no jump required. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Good, so really load up there. You still want to practice good mechanics with this. Keep that chin tucked, shoulder blades back and down. Core tight, hinging at the hips as we come down, and we explode out into a jump or onto those tippy toes. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. We have our lunge jumps now. Last part, and then we're back to the top. So stepping back in that lunge, jumping out, switching legs, or jumping that knee, exploding it out. 3, 2, 1, begin. Good. So you're either jumping and alternating legs, or you're stepping back and exploding that knee. Same thing here if you have knee issues. If it's causing pain to go deep, don't go as deep. Just step back, drive that knee. Step back, drive that knee. Less than 10 seconds. We're getting our body warmed up here. We're getting it ramped up. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. We are back at the top of this leg matrix. We got squats. We are back to our squats. Either no dumbbells, or if you want to make it more challenging, front rack position. 3, 2, 1, begin. This is round number 2 we're starting. We have 3 rounds in total. Good. The weight should be in our heels in the middle of the foot. You don't want to be rolling onto the tiptoes during this part. Make sure our knees are not collapsing in as we go down. Squeeze through the glutes as we stand up. We got 3, 2, 1, rest. Good, we're back to those lunges. So if you did reverse first and your knees are feeling fine, I want you to do a front lunge this time. If your knees are still bothering you, give me that reverse lunge. 3, 2, 1, begin. Good job. Bring that back knee about an inch above the ground. Keep that trunk from flexing forward too far. You want to still have a nice upright posture. Make sure the hips are not dipping down. Feel like a bowl of water. Don't let it pour over either side. For 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. We got our squat jumps. So remember, we're either squatting down and jumping up, or squatting down, coming onto the tiptoes. We got 5 seconds until we start, so get ready. And begin. Good. Good. Keep that chin tucked when we're going down. Still want to practice those good mechanics. 15 seconds. Really explode out of there. Even if you're not jumping, explode onto those tiptoes. In 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. We got those lunge jumps. So we're reverse lunging first, jumping, switching legs, or driving that knee. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Good. This will be the end of round number 2. We got 3 rounds in total, so we got 1 more after this. Pace yourself through. Try to use these full 30 seconds, of which we only got 12 seconds left. And then we're back to the top 1 more time. Let's go, let's go. Keep on driving that knee or keep on jumping up. And rest. Good. We are back at the top for 1 more time through. We got those squats. Feet shoulder width apart. Going down, coming up. 3, 2, 1, begin. Make sure those knees aren't traveling past the toes. The weight should be in our heels and middle of the foot. You shouldn't be falling back, but you shouldn't be falling forward either. Keep those shoulder blades back and down. Keep that back nice and flat. We don't want a rounding at any point. In 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. We're back to our lunges. So I want to see reverse lunges for this. Reverse lunging, switching legs. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Lunges. Let's go, let's go. We got a beautiful workout ahead of us. Right now, we're just in the first section here. We're getting our body nice and ready for today's workout. We got less than 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. We have squat jumps. You know how it goes. Feet shoulder width apart. We low down and either jump up or explode onto those toes. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Good. There's always somewhere you can go. If you're not jumping up, you can explode onto those toes. We got 15 seconds left. We're almost there. All we got after this is lunge jumps, and then we're done with the first section. So keep pushing, keep going. We got a water break after this. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. Last part, we got lunge jumps. So either actually jumping up and switching legs or stepping back, driving that knee. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. This is the last 30 seconds here. So push through, make sure you're breathing, make sure you're landing softly on those legs. There shouldn't be a lot of jolting forces. You want to land nice and quiet, nice and safely. 15 seconds until we get water. Don't let that back knee hit the ground. Keep that torso nice and upright, chin tucked. For 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. That is the end of our first part, the end of our leg matrix. So grab water, pause me if you need to. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. I'll be here when you unpause. This next part, what we got is 15 minutes of a workout. So that's how we're doing this. We're not breaking it down to sections. We have 15 minutes in total. The first one we have is a kettlebell clean. If you don't have kettlebells, a dumbbell will work for this as well. So the way we're starting this is that we are starting at 2 reps per exercise. Once we get back to the top here at the kettlebell clean, we move up by 2, so then it would be 4 reps per exercise, then 6, 8, all the way up to 12. So first we start at 2, we have kettlebell clean. So here we are hinging at the waist, and then we explode out, catch it, keeping it close to our body the entire time. So after those kettlebell cleans, we have our kettlebell high row. So here we're standing nice and tall, and we are keeping those shoulder blades back and down and driving that kettlebell up while keeping those shoulder blades back and down. Make sure we're not leaning forward and throwing with our hips. We want to keep everything nice and tall, nice and stable. We got 2 of those. After that, we have our kettlebell deadlift. So for this, feet about shoulder width apart. We hinge at the waist until we can no longer keep that straight back. Then we start bending, touch down to the ground with the kettlebell, and explode out. Hinge, then bend, explode out. Those are the kettlebell deadlifts. And then finally, we have our penguin crunch. So we dip the kettlebell, we get onto our backs, heels tucked in, palms up. Try to touch those heels with those hands. 2 per side. To make it a little bit more challenging, bring those feet out. Gives you more ground to cover. All right, guys, remember we're starting at 2 reps per exercise, for 15 minutes, up by 2 each time we get back to the top until we hit that 12 rep count. All right, we are starting with our kettlebell cleans in 3, 2, 1, begin. Good, so we got 2 kettlebell cleans. After those 2, we have 2 kettlebell high rows, keeping the weight close to our body, driving up those elbows. After those 2, we have 2 kettlebell deadlifts, hinging at the waist and then bending down and exploding out. After those kettlebell deadlifts, those 2, we have penguin crunches, 2 per side. Once we're all the way through those, we go back to the top to the kettlebell cleans with 4 reps per exercise. We go through all those, and then we are back at 6 reps per exercise, etc., until we hit the 12 mark. Now, if you're finishing up early, we still got plenty of time, don't worry. If you're finishing up early, what I want you to do is either start at that 2 and work your way back up if you're starting to feel fatigued, or if you're still feeling strong and you finished early, work your way back down from 12. So it would be 12, 10, 8, etc., all the way until 2. This is your workout, so make sure you make it your own. See how you're feeling that day. If you need to take it a little bit slower, do so. You're the only one there right now to judge. You know your body better than anybody else, so do what you can and what feels right. For those kettlebell cleans, make sure we're keeping the kettlebell close to our body as we explode out and catch it into a nice stable position. Make sure you get all of your balance down before you drop it and start the next rep. You don't want to be swinging back and forth as you move through each rep. Remember, after the clean, we have the high row. So keeping the weight close to our body, driving up the elbows, bringing that weight up and back down. You want to make sure you're trying not to shrug your shoulders up and then pull. You want to start by driving your elbows, keeping those shoulders down and depressed. After that, we have our kettlebell deadlift. Remember, we're hinging at the waist first. You want to hinge and then bend and then pick up. The way you start the movement is you want to push the ground away. Once you reach about your knees, that's when you squeeze the glutes and extend and stand up. And then we have the penguin crunches. Palms up for that. You want to make sure your shoulders aren't rounded forward and in a jeopardized position. So you want to have that palm up, trying to touch each heel. The further out the foot, the harder it is. We are 3 minutes in out of these 15 minutes, so we still got plenty of time. Remember, once you get through to the penguin crunches and you're back at the top, add 2 reps to whatever number you were just at. We're going up by 2. That being said, you're the boss of this workout. I'm just here as a guide. So if you find yourself flying through these workouts, maybe slow it down a little bit. Maybe try to load up the weight a little bit more if you can, if you have more kettlebells or if you have heavier weights. If you don't, then just slow it down. Make each rep really count. Really feel each muscle working. So if you're doing the kettlebell cleans, really hinge, exaggerate the hinge, and then explode out. Or with the deadlift, really slowly let yourself down, be in control of each part of the movement. There's always somewhere you can go with these. Good. Keep it up, keep it up. Make sure we're keeping that chin tucked whenever we're going down, whether we're hinging at the waist or if we're actually squatting down We want to keep that chin tucked. We don't want to arch our head up, looking up at the ceiling. We want to look at about 6 to 10 feet in front of us the entire time. Shoulder blades back and down. Helps protect the spine, helps keep it in a nice straight path, as opposed to bending where it is not supposed to bend, which is that lower back. You want to protect that lower back here. Good. We are over 5 minutes in. We have less than 10 minutes left. Keep that in mind for your pacing. If you're towards the upper edges of these rep counts, so if you're at the 10 mark, the 12 mark already, slow it down, first off, and then also, if you're feeling good, work your way back down from 12. If you're feeling a little bit more fatigued, then maybe start back at 2 and redo. Work your way back up from 2. Good job, guys. Keep moving, keep moving. If you need to, catch your breath. 15 minutes can be a long time for a workout if you're doing it non-stop. So don't be afraid to breathe. Don't be afraid to pause for a second. Deep breath. Don't be afraid to grab some water. Switch it around. Get back to work. And I want you guys burning out in these 15 minutes. I want you using the full time that you have available. We are over 6.5 minutes in. We are almost halfway. Almost. Not quite, but almost. So where does that put you on the scale? 2 to 12 reps. You're working your way up by 2. If you're near the lower end, you're only at 6, 4, then really, maybe you want to pick it up a little bit. If you're towards the upper end, slowing it down and redoing. Those kettlebell cleans, when we're exploding out of it, make sure we're squeezing the glutes as we bring the weight close to us and catch it. Be controlled when you let go of the weight too. So we're hinging, keeping the weight close to us, and explode up. Controlled on the way down. Chin tucked. Those high rows. Lead with the elbows. So shoulder blades back and depressed. You don't want your traps going up like this and turning into a turtle. No, you want it down and depressed as we drive those elbows up, keeping the weight close to our body. With the deadlift, make sure we're hinging first. We're starting off the movement with a hinge. We don't want to bend at the back. We want to hinge at the waist until we can no longer. Then we sit down, touch that kettlebell to the floor, or if you're lacking mobility, maybe put a book or something underneath so it doesn't go up as high. Then once we're ready, we get those knees out, we push out of those knees, and we explode by pushing the floor away and then squeezing the glutes past the knees. Once those hands pass the knees, that's when you squeeze those glutes forward and work your way up. Those hanging crunches, make sure we're keeping those palms up, heels out. The further away they are, the harder it is. We are over 9 minutes in. Less than 6 minutes remain. So keep going. Keep staying strong. Keep moving. I won't yell at you for taking breaks. If you need to catch your breath, catch your breath. I'm breathing. You don't see me yelling at you. Do what you've got to do. If you're feeling a little bit sluggish today, that's all right. Doing something is always better than doing nothing. You may not hit any personal records, but you're here. You're doing something, so that's something to be proud of. So keep going. We are almost 10 minutes in. A little bit over 5 minutes left. Remember, we're starting at 2, going up by 2 until we hit that 12 rep mark. Once we hit 12 reps and we go through that cycle, you can either work your way back down, so go 10, 8, 6, or you can start by 2 and work your way back up, 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. I will leave that up to you. Let's go now. We have 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. So we're getting close to the end now. You should be coming close to those 12 reps. If not, try to pick up the pace. If you've already been done, as I said before, you're either working your way back down from 12 or back up from 2. Keep that kettlebell close to us for the cleans and the high row. Make sure we're squeezing those shoulder blades back and down. Proud chest. Almost at that 12-minute mark. About 3 minutes left. 3 minutes. If you're listening to music in the background, that's like 2 songs. So we're about 2 songs left. Keep going, guys. Keep that chin tucked. Keep those shoulder blades back and down. Squeeze those lats on that deadlift. Keep everything nice and tight. With those high rows, we're driving those elbows up, keeping those shoulder blades and those traps down, down and back. Less than 2 minutes. We are really coming close now, guys. So push through. I want to see you work through this entire 15 minutes. It's okay if you got to stop to catch your breath for a little bit, but keep moving. Don't just stand there sipping water. That's what the water breaks are for. When we're working, we're working. And this working, we only got 1.5 minutes left of, so let's keep going. Go, get those knees out on those deadlifts, don't let them collapse in. Hangman crunches, keep that core tight, that belly button sucked in towards the spine. Keep those palms up. We got 1 minute left. 1 minute, 60 seconds. That's all that's left, and then you're getting a nice little water break. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. Less than 40 seconds. "20 seconds. Come on, keep moving, keep going. Come on, breathe. Breathe, but keep moving. Don't stop yet. 10 seconds. Come on, almost there. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest up, catch your breath, grab some water, press pause if you need to, because I am moving fast. I'm going through to the next part. Grab your water, press pause if you need to. I'll be right here. This next part, we're going to need our dumbbells, so make sure we have those dumbbells ready. So the first thing we got, well, one, it's 15 minutes again, so we got that same amount of time. This time, we are starting at 10 reps per exercise, working our way down by 2 until we hit 2, and then we're either working our way back up or back down from 10. So the first one we have are delt flies. So here, we are standing with the dumbbells by our side, nice strong base, glute squeeze, rib cage down, shoulder blades back and down, chin tucked, and we bring those dumbbells out to the side, slowly turning those thumbs up towards the sky just a little bit. No need to over exaggerate, and no need to go past shoulder level. You don't need to bring them all the way up here, just to the shoulder level and back down. We have 10 of those. You might need a little bit of lighter weight for those. After that, we have our dumbbell chest press. So we're down on the ground, heels tucked, shoulder blades back and down, and we are going to press up, keeping those elbows about 45 degrees from our body, and down. Forearms vertical, pressing up and back. After that, we get up carefully with the dumbbells in hand, and we have our suitcase squat. So for this, we have dumbbells by our side, glute squeeze, shoulder blades back and down, chin tucked. We hinge at the waist and squat down, and then shoot back up. Squat down, keeping those dumbbells by our waist, and back down. Keep the heels, or keep the weight in your heels and middle of the foot. And lastly, we ditch the dumbbells. For our last part, we have plank marches. So we get to that high plank position, and we lift up one leg at a time, squeeze at the top, and alternate legs. So we start off with 10 each foot for that. Once we get down and through there, we go back to the top of those delt flies, down to 8 reps. And then once we get through, back to 6, 4, 2, etc. All right, we got 15 minutes on the clock. Starting with those delt flies in 3, 2, 1, begin. So remember, we're starting at 10 reps here. We're moving down by 2 each time we get back to the top. Pyramid day. So we're turning those thumbs up just slightly. We don't want to be rounded down and lead with our pinkies. As we bring it up, we turn those thumbs up and back down. This helps put the shoulder into a healthier position. We want to keep those shoulders nice and safe. After those 10 delt flies, we have the 10 chest presses. So we're lying down on the ground, heels tucked, shoulder blades back and down, elbows about 45 degrees from our body as we press up, squeeze at the top, and down. Being on the ground is good for that, for the chest press, because it helps keep the shoulders from going too far back. If you do it on a bench, sometimes your elbows drop too far, puts the shoulder in a bad position. But now we have the floor to protect that from happening, so take advantage of it. If you can, bump up that weight. You might want to use heavier weights than the dumbbell delt flies. After those 10 chest presses, we have the 10 dumbbell suitcase squats. So feet about shoulder width apart, dumbbells by our sides, hinging, down, and then coming back up. Keeping that chin tucked. Same thing as a regular squat, right? Knees out, you don't want buckling in. You'll see a lot of the recurring movement patterns in a lot of things we do. You want to keep those feet from going up onto the toes. You want to keep the weight in the heels in the middle of the foot. You want to start the movement by hinging first. Chest nice and proud, chin tucked, shoulder blades back and down. then finally, those plank marches. Don't let those hips go up and down as we lift the legs. Keep the hips nice and stationary. You should be able to balance a cup of water on your back. As you lift up that one leg, you're squeezing the glute of the leg that's lifting. That's where you want the movement to come from. Don't let that lower back round out. Keep those legs straight. Remember, you have 10 each for the plank marches. Once you're done with the plank marches, guess what? You're back at the top of those delt flies, this time 2 fewer reps, so 8. Then once you get back through the plank marches, you come back to those dumbbell delt flies with 6, etc. We are about 3 minutes in, so we still got plenty of time. About 12 minutes, so keep that in mind. Good job, guys. Keep it up, keep it up. Be nice and controlled, especially on those delt flies. Anything with your shoulder you really don't want to do sporadically and spazzy. You want to be nice and controlled. Don't let the weight slam back down, and don't throw them up there using your whole body. Be nice and controlled up and controlled down. You'll really start to feel that on the side of the shoulders there. Same with the chest press. While you may want to explode up from it, you want it nice and controlled on the way back. You want to feel that chest muscle activating and then stretching on the way down. That mind-muscle connection. Remember, we started at 10, we're working down by 2. If you notice, and if you have the available dumbbells, if you notice that's too light or too heavy, don't be afraid to switch up the weights. We are almost 5 minutes in, which means we have a little bit over 10 minutes. We have about 10 minutes left. Keep it going, guys. Keep going. I know you're feeling it. I know you're feeling it. Remember to breathe. Breathe through every breath. Do not hold your breath, as tempting as it may be. Make sure we're breathing. Inhaling during the easy part of the exercise, exhaling during the more challenging part. As I always say, you can go a couple days without water, but try to not breathe for a couple minutes, and you'll feel the difference. We got about 6 minutes in, so we still got plenty of time. We're not even halfway there. If you notice you're burning through these reps really fast, maybe slow it down, or hey, be prepared to start back at the top then. If you're going through these real quick, I want to see you start at the top and work your way back down. Dumbbell flies, those delt flies, try to slowly turn those thumbs up as we come up. Don't let those traps take over. They want to kick in and take over the movement. Don't let it happen. Your shoulders are the ones that need to do this work. So with this, make sure the shoulder blades are down and depressed as we lift up. Don't let the traps start and you just go halfway. Your body is the compensation machine. It's the master of compensation. You have to identify what it's trying to do to make the workout easier and not let that happen. You want to correct a lot of those maladjustments of the body. So if the traps, you're noticing they're starting to come up, your shoulders come to your ears, reset, shoulder blades back and down, let those shoulders do the work. You'll feel it a lot more in where you're supposed to. Same with those chest presses. You want to keep those shoulder blades back and down as you press out. A lot of people, they have a tendency to let their shoulders do the work and they round forward. You don't want that. You want to see them go forward and cover less distance. You want to open up that chest, proud chest, as you push up and feel that pec work. And those suitcase squats. You want to make sure you're nice and controlled. Keep the dumbbells right, snug to your side as you go down and up. We are over 8 minutes in out of these 15 minutes. That means we are over halfway. Keep an eye on your rep count. We started at 10, we're going down to 2. If you get through there early, either start back at 10, work your way down, or start at 2, work your way up. I'll let you decide where you're feeling comfortable today. If you're really starting to fatigue out, you're really starting to lose it, and you already made it through, then I would say start back at 2 and work your way back up. It gives you a little bit more time to catch your breath, to work through the motions. But if you're flying through and you're feeling great, then push yourself. Go back to those 10 reps per exercise. We are 9 minutes in. Keep on going. Keep on going. With those plank marches, make sure our hips are staying parallel to the floor, not turning as we lift that leg off the ground. Keep going, guys. Keep going. We still got time. We still got time. Let's go, guys. Keep on working. Keep those dumbbells moving. Keep that body engaged. Keep that heart rate up. Keep on sweating. Keep on breathing. Keep on moving. We're almost done with this part. A couple more minutes left. Go. You should know where you're at. If you're burning out, if you're starting to fatigue out, slow it down, catch your breath, reset, keep going. Almost there. Keep on pushing. Remember, if you finish early, start at 2 and work your way up, or start back at 10, work your way down. I'm not there to know. Listen to your body. If you're feeling good and you need an extra push, then yeah, start back at 10. But if you're feeling it, you're starting to fatigue out, it is nearing the end of the workout, then start at 2 and work your way back up. That's why I say I'm just a guide. You're the one doing the work here. So you decide what is your body telling you to do. Keep on going. We have about 2 minutes left. Let's go, people. Keep moving. Don't take those breaks. You can take a short pause, but don't take full-out breaks. That's why we got 15 minutes on the clock. We want you to use those full 15 minutes. We have the water break afterwards. So let's keep on going. Keep breathing. We only got about a minute left. Almost there. Keep going. You got 30 seconds. 30 seconds. That's all we're looking at here. We're almost there. Should be the last 1 or 2 sets for each exercise here. So if you're finishing up one, maybe you're moving on to the next one. If not, stick to this one exercise we're on and let's finish out strong. We got less than 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good job, guys. All right, we are on to our last part. Pause here, grab some water. I'm rolling through. This next part, we only got 3 workouts. We got 3 exercises. The first one being push-ups. The way this works is that we start at 5 and we work our way down each time we make it through. So we got push-ups, we got 5 push-ups. So we want to see good quality push-ups. Once we get through all 3, we go down to 4 push-ups. Then 3, 2, 1. After that, we have alternating V-ups. So 5 each leg, so hands up. 1, 1, 2, 2, all the way up to 5. And then finally, we have 5 frog hops. So hands down in that plank position, jump those feet up and out, and back down. All right, let's get it. We got 4 minutes on the clock, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Good. Starting with those 5 push-ups. After those, we got the alternating V-ups, 5 per side. After those alternating V-ups, we have 5 frog hops. Once we get through those, we go back to the top for 4 push-ups. 4 each side, alternating V-ups, 4 frog hops, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1, and then you are done. Let's go, let's go. Keep going, guys. Push through. This is the last push. This is the final part of today's workout. After this, you are done. So let's show the world who is boss. We have less than 3 minutes. That's all we're looking at here. Less than 3 minutes left. 5 push-ups, alternating V-ups, frog hops, then 4 push-ups, alternating V-ups, frog hops, then 3, then 2, and then finally, uno, 1. Give me another 2 minutes here. Another 2 minutes. Let's see how far you can make it. If you can make it all the way down to 1, you're done. Finished. If not, keep pushing until we're done. We've got about a minute left. Come on, guys. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Good. Almost there. Finishing up real shortly. Come on, we got less than 15. Let's go. Push through. This is the final part. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good job, guys. So we are all done. Today's workout is finished. So grab a towel, grab your water,